Hello and goodbye, November. I know I always do this at the end of the month. I drop my phone. I don't know why I even say hello, because it's the end of the month. My phone has my notes on it. That's why I need it. This month went by in a blur. It went by super quick. I got some stuff done. Not everything I wanted to get done, but welcome to my life. That's how it always is every month. You know how it goes. Before I start on this month, I want to say one thing about last month. I did that Halloween-y, scary video games podcast Andrew and I did, and I had it out, well, I had it ready to go out at the time I did that video, and it didn't come out for like 3 or 4 days after that. So that's up now. It's in the links below, so check that out, but also podcast this month. I'll talk about that in a second, but the video game years in 1983, I finally finished it. I can't even explain to you how much frustration it's been because I've had to record it 3 different times. I had so many technical issues. I had like breakers going off because I had so many lights set up. I'm finally recording stuff in my basement. I've got like a green screen set up on the wall. It's pretty awesome. Maybe I'll show you that in a second, but like my lights set up the way I want them and everything, but like the lights were going out and I had to record several times. The mic would stop recording and it just, yeah, it was a real huge pain in the butt, but I finally got that done. And the video game years 1982 part 1 and 2 are out now, so that's also in the links below. But it's almost time to be done with a couple more parts, be done with 1982, be time for 1983, and I just got that done, so I'm just barely keeping up. So yeah, stress, time, there's no time. So podcast, got that podcast out, the one for last month, Halloween, got a new podcast out. This might have been the first time I did back-to-back, month-to-month podcasts, but new podcast. My phone's, I'm blowing up, so popular. Nope, it's just a email. The podcast for this month was about console launches. So we kind of look at the console launch that was actually the night that we recorded it was the PS4 launch. And Andrew and I didn't get one, but most of the people on the podcast, if not all the people on the podcast, got theirselves a PS4. And actually some people were playing it while we were recording it. It actually made for a pretty funny podcast. So check that out. People that were on the podcast, as I've been saying for a while, wanted to have the Gamebuddy Funcast on. They had me on several podcasts, so wanted to have them on for sure. So representing Gamebuddy Funcast, we had Sean and we had John, and Adam couldn't be there, but want to have him on another podcast at some point as well. We also had Piper from Piper Can't Play Games, and that's on gamingwithscissors.com. So had the Gamebuddy Funcast guys, had someone from Gaming with Scissors, had Shinobi. She was nice enough to be on my podcast, even though she was trying to play PS4 at the time and bake a cake. Both at the same time, and her boyfriend was playing PS4. She wanted to go play PS4, but she was nice enough to stick with it. So I don't know why I scheduled this for that night, actually. I didn't realize it was a PS4 launch because I don't really keep up with like current video game news and that kind of thing. So when I found, I was like, oh yeah, that came out tonight. Everyone wanted to play it, and they're like on the podcast, like, yeah, like staring at their PS4. Man, I want to play that. That was dumb timing on my part. But anyway, it was about the console launch that was going on now, but mostly what we wanted to talk about was console launches that we've remembered, over time, going back as far as we could remember. And I think we talked a little bit about Atari 2600 and came up to present, kind of talked a little bit about the current launch and just games that came out at the time, launch games and that kind of thing. So it was a funny podcast, a lot of people on it, a little bit of chaos, but it still turned out pretty good, I think. And it's pretty funny. So have a peep or have a listen. It's done, but technical problems last month, so I can't say it's out now. I'm recording this the night before Thanksgiving. At the time I'm recording this, it should be a done deal, should be out. Hopefully it's in the links. If not, I'll keep you updated. You can follow me on Twitter, GoingMolden047, and I'll keep you updated on when it goes up, if it's not up by the time this video's up. I'll tell you what's up. And also a podcast that came out this month, Retroware TV, the podcast, and it was me, Lance, and John, and we were just talking off the cuff, talking video games and video game related stuff. Just no aim. It's called The Nothing. So to give you an idea, but it was actually really fun. So we enjoyed recording that podcast. Have a listen to that as well. Links. You know this. Why do I even say it? Why? I don't know. Between now and the end of the month, I will have started the Hogan's Alley Zapper video. Finally, I really wanted to get that done, but what kind of happened was, a couple things I'm going to talk about I did this month, and then I did the Video Game Years 1983, which took way, way, way longer. I'm going to tell you, I had like 6 plus hours of raw footage I had to go through because I had to record it multiple times. Anyway, enough of that. You don't need to hear that. So I got that done, and then podcast, 2.5 hour almost podcast that I had to edit. So once I got done with that, there really wasn't any time to work on it. But by the end of this month, I'll be working on it, and next month, the goal is to have the Hogan's Alley Zapper video at least finally out. Stay tuned. So the beginning of this month, my girlfriend and I went to Vegas, and this was my third time being in Vegas, and I didn't really do anything that video gamey. Like, I took pictures of things that were like, hey, this is kind of video game related, so there's that. But you know, I had already been to the Pinball Hall of Fame. I haven't gone to Circus. I guess that's a arcade that, you know, I've never been to. I don't know, it's kind of for kids is my understanding, so we didn't go do that. We just hung out, you know, we went to a couple of shows. We saw Jabberwockies, we saw Beatles Love, and we also went to the Caesar's Palace Buffet, which was awesome. Talk about it on the podcast, so I'll spare you, but it was a good time. Not so much video games, but not everything's about video. Okay, everything's about video games, so I was just trying to find things that were video game-ish. Take a picture of this and tweet that, hey, video games, I don't know. QBert, Hotel, and E3, Gate, I don't know, something. And finally this month, I went to the Kong Off 3. I think I've talked about this before. Kong Off is competition to get the highest score in Donkey Kong. Those of you that have seen King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters, awesome documentary. If you haven't seen it, watch it, definitely, it's great. Billy Mitchell against Steve Wiebe, and they were both there, in addition to other people. And actually, I don't think either of them are the highest score holder at this time. I haven't really kept up on it, but last I knew, you know, Steve Wiebe was the winner, and then it turned out, well, the highest score holder. And then it went back to Billy Mitchell, and since then someone else has stepped in, and you know, it's gone back and forth. It's gone all over the place. So they're probably in the top 10, but they're not even the top 2 holders of the high score anymore. So them and a bunch of other competitors came to Colorado, came to Denver barcade called One Up. So I went there with Johnny Ketchum and some of his friends. It was really good time. It was just awesome to see all these people competing in Donkey Kong. You know, they had all the monitors up there. You could see the high scores. And we got there a little late, and right when we were getting there, you know, Steve Wiebe and Billy Mitchell were both competing, you know, along with other people. And Steve Wiebe, who I really wanted to get his picture, I wanted to talk to him, he took off. He was gone like right when I got there, so I didn't get a chance to talk to him because I really wanted to, you know, get a picture with him and everything. And I wanted to find out what his son's new high score is in Donkey Kong, because at the end of the documentary, it's just kind of a joke, but you know, his son gets a high score of like 75,000 or something like that. Yeah, I was like, man, that's a pretty high score. I could never get that. So I just recently, you know, a couple months ago, I got like 86,000 or something. I don't know. I'll just put the picture in there. Something like that. And I was like, oh, I beat Steve Wiebe's son. That was my goal. So now I'm going to beat Steve Wiebe. And I just wanted to find out what his son's new high score is, if it's changed, so I have something new to shoot for, because I'll never get there. Like, I don't want to say that, but realistically, I'm never going to get there. It's way too hard. That game's hard. I have a Donkey Kong cabinet, and I play it, and it just kills me every time. That's why I love it. It's like I'm a masochist, I don't know, for that kind of stuff. But anyway, really wanted to get a picture with him and that kind of thing, talk to him. Didn't get a chance to do that, but I did get my picture taken with Billy Mitchell, which was really cool. I mean, say what you want about him, you know, and people saw the documentary and that kind of thing. You can't deny how great of a player he is. Like, the first person to have a perfect game in Pac-Man. That was really cool. You know, talked to him for like a second, and he was nice enough to take a picture with me, shook his hand, got the pictures, there it is. So, I don't know, that was really exciting, that was really cool. You know, famous people in the industry, that kind of stuff. Walter Day was there, you know, I got to see him, but I didn't get to talk to him this time, so it's just cool, you know. Twin Galaxies has moved to Denver, you know, that's really exciting. Denver is like the new mecca of arcade games and that kind of stuff, and score key, you know. Twin Galaxies, it's awesome, I don't know, I love it. Anyway, that's really all I've done this month. Didn't want to make a really long video. I guess I went longer than I really wanted to. Tomorrow's turkey day, gotta go eat that turkey. I gotta go to bed so I can wake up and be well rested to eat all that turkey and all that food and stuff. Anyway, I can't promise, but I'm gonna do my best to get a Zapper video out next month, Hogan's Alley. I would like to do a couple, but realistically, probably not. But I'm also gonna record a podcast probably this coming Friday and get that out by the end of next month as well. So hopefully another podcast, 3 in a row, that'd be crazy, and a video, and we'll see what else I can get done. But other than that, I'll see you next month. See ya.